I would like to read you an excerpt from none other than Women Who Run with the Wolves. And this is a chapter on mistaken zygotes, if that's how you pronounce it. And it's about, people who feel like they don't really belong where they are, and people who kind of feel like they've been mistakenly born into what they're born into. And um, this part really stood out to me. So, there is yet another issue to be dealt with. Mistaken zygotes learn to be survivors. It is tough to spend years among those who cannot help you flourish. Being able to say that one is a survivor is an accomplishment. For many, the power is in the name itself. And yet comes a time in the individuation process when the threat of trauma is significantly past. Then is the time to go to the next stage after survivorship, to healing and thriving. If we stay as survivors only without moving to thriving, we limit ourselves and cut our energy to ourselves and our power in the world to less than half. One can take so much pride in being a survivor that it becomes a hazard to further creative development. Sometimes people are afraid to continue beyond survivor status, for it is just that, a status, a distinguishing mark. A damn straight, bet your buttons, better believe it accomplishment. Instead of making survivorship the centerpiece of one's life, it is better to use it as one of many badges, but not the only one. Humans deserve to be dripping in beautiful remembrances, medals, and decorations for having lived, truly lived, and triumphed. Once the threat is past, there is a potential trap in calling ourselves by names taken on during the most terrible time of our lives. It creates a mindset that is potentially limiting. It is not good to base a soul identity solely on the feats and losses and victories of the bad times. While survivorship can make a woman tough as beef jerky, at some point, allying with it exclusively begins to inhibit new development. So, all of this to say that yes, we are survivors. Yes, we are tough as nails. Yes, we have been through shit. But that is not all we are. That is not the whole of us. Okay? We are much bigger than that. Our souls are here for something bigger than that, right? If you truly feel that and you truly resonate, you know what I'm talking about. You know that you're here to do more than just to be a survivor and just to be someone who has been through trauma, right? Okay, hi my loves, welcome back. Today I want to talk about something that's a bit sensitive, but at the same time, I think that it needs to be talked about because there is such a saturation of this topic on social media and on the way that we even talk about it. I feel like has become kind of distorted, and so I just want to bring something to light that I think we might be able to all benefit from, and that is the eldest daughter syndrome. And I know that you probably have seen, if you aren't an eldest daughter yourself, you have probably seen memes, lots of TikToks, lots of Twitter, just one-offs on what the eldest daughter is and how our lives are so difficult. And I just want to tell you that I'm there with you. But there is an aspect to this that I think we're all missing out on and that we can greatly benefit from. And that is the idea that we at some point have to heal from the things that we went through, right? And especially if they were in the distant past, we no longer want to perpetuate the story that we are the eldest daughters and therefore we take care of everything and everyone and our needs aren't important and it just is how life will be, and it's difficult. It's because we grew up in that way and we had responsibilities placed on us, we had burdens placed on us that weren't necessarily ours to take on. So, I want to offer you a new perspective today, and that is we can be and we are the eldest daughters, and we are people who have, or what it seems like we have it all together, and we are the type A boss babes or whatever you want to call it. And we do know how to take care of others, right? Like that is what we have grown up doing, and we may have seen some things that even have left an imprint on us that we shouldn't have gone through, right? And it's been unfair. So I want to first talk to you about Carl Jung's process of individuation, right? And that is that in order for us to become whole, we have to at some point individuate from the collective influences, from familial influences, and from cultural norms, right? So that includes our families, that includes our culture. And so when we are so conditioned to take on the needs of others, when we are so conditioned to grow up trying to have it all together, we miss out on the process that makes us us, that makes us our unique selves. And so I want to offer you a perspective, and that is that we have to at some point deviate from identifying so heavily from being the eldest daughter, from being someone who takes care of others, someone who takes on their emotions. First of all, that is, oh, I feel like I can do a whole separate video on that, but especially if you're someone who's sensitive to energies and you've grown up in a household that's kind of chaotic and there was turbulence, you might want to, you pick up on signals, you pick up on people's emotions even before they happen sometimes, because we are so programmed to read the room so quickly, and so in a way that's almost unhealthy, right? Because we don't want to take on other people's emotions, first of all. So I want to tell you that it is time for us to drop the eldest daughter label and the eldest daughter syndrome from our lives, because this journey is about us and it's about being whole individuals, right? So there's something to learn from being the eldest daughter, from being the one who keeps it all together. And I am sure that you are someone who, if you write down, what have I learned from this, from being this, from identifying with this individual, with this elder daughter individual, and that if you were to list it out, I mean, I would invite you to do it if you have some time to journal, if you have some time to sit with this. I would invite you to write down, what have I learned from being this person, from identifying with this label my whole life. And I guarantee you that on the list of those things will be amazing, exceptional management skills and leadership skills. And what we can do in our process of individuation is use those leadership skills, use those management skills elsewhere, okay? We are not going to lead a life where we're always managing other people in the household or in our immediate environment. We want to go out there and see what we can do, really, like see what we're made of. And yeah, so I know that there's gold in being this person. It has taught us so much. It has given us a lot of positive things. Like I know that it's also stressful, but at the same time there's been a lot of growth that we've gone through at a young age, right? One other thing, and I didn't emphasize this enough, and that is when you write down what you've learned from being the eldest daughter, I hope that you find a lot of gold in it, right? I hope you find a lot of positives. And so from there, I want you to focus on those things and I want you to actually start a new page in your journal and whatever and write down your what calls to you that doesn't involve societal pressure, that doesn't involve pressure from anyone except yourself. Anything that doesn't involve anyone else but you. Like, I want you to write down the things that light you up, and I want you to write down what you want to do in this life, right? That doesn't involve other people. So, I hope that you can find even yourself and your dreams from this process, from this journey, and I really want us to unpack who we are and really find out because I feel like, have constantly been in service to others growing up. And so, what are our needs? What are our likes, dislikes? These are the things that we didn't really necessarily get a chance to focus on. And so, now that we are adults and we have more tools, um, hopefully more a little bit more time, we can really find out. And that is wonderful and so exciting. And it's just like it's like being children again and starting fresh. Like, do I like dancing? Do I like singing? Do I like, whatever lights you up? And so, yeah, I just think that we are stagnating if we only focus on being the eldest daughters and being type A individuals. We are more than that. And if you resonate with this, I can't wait to see your journey and also it just for yourself, who you become at the end of it, right? Like, we are going, if you're on the self-development journey, if you're on the journey to find yourself, I am so excited for you. And if we move away from just being one label, right? We have so much to offer and we are just so much more than that. So, if I can be of any service to you further than this, please leave me a comment. And if this video resonated with you, if any part of it helped you, I would appreciate a comment, a like, any support to show that it did. But yes, I love you, and I will see you next time.